Hello, my name's Ian Anderson Gray, and in this episode of the Confident Live Marketing Show, I'm talking about how you can use Headliner, the tool Headliner, to create video snippets and audiograms from your live stream. So we'll be with you just after this.
Welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Helping you level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video.
Optimize your mindset and communication and increase your confidence in front of the camera.
Get confident with the tech and gear.
And get confident with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Well, hello, it's episode 118 of the Confident Live Marketing Show, the show that helps you level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video. Oh, I don't know why I put that silly voice on, but it's just part of the show, really, isn't it? And I'm excited today to talk about a tool that I've used for a long time. It's called Headliner. It is a web app, so you don't need to download it. It's cool. It allows you to create video snippets and audiograms. It started off really as a tool to help podcasters to repurpose their content. And so that's probably one of the big strengths when it comes to Headliner, but it does so many other things as well. It allows you to do video snippets as well and lots of cool things like that. So I can't wait to talk about that today. This show, as always, goes live every Tuesday and Thursday to a plethora of different destinations. We broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope. Well, it's kind of not Periscope anymore. Twitter. We're going to call it Twitter now. And it also turns into a podcast every Friday. So if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, go to iag.me/podcast. And the show notes for this episode, when it's out, will be at iag.me/118. If you are watching the replay or if you are listening to the podcast and you'd love to be in the audience, then you can. You just need to be notified so that you know when we're next going to be going live. And the best way to do that is to go to confident.live/subscribe and we'll let you know next time we go live. Well, it's time to talk about my first sponsor today, which is AgoraPulse. AgoraPulse is my favorite social media management tool. It's what I use for all my publishing, all my scheduling, all my social media inbox. So it allows me to reply and engage with my audience as well. It is amazing. I couldn't do without it. And so here's a little bit more about AgoraPulse, and you get a free month as well. So check it out.
The Confident Live Marketing Podcast is made possible thanks to our sponsor, AgoraPulse. AgoraPulse is the all-in-one social media management tool. Publish, schedule, monitor, and engage on all your social media platforms. And with the social inbox, you and your team can manage all your messages, comments, and mentions all in one place and get to that magical inbox zero. And don't forget the amazing analytics and reporting so you can see how your social efforts are performing. Get your first month completely free at agorapulse.com/confident live.
Well, there you go. AgoraPulse. Do check out AgoraPulse. And I thank you so much, AgoraPulse, for sponsoring this show. So just to let you know, today we're talking about Headliner. If you have any questions, pop it in the comments, or if you've got any thoughts, I'd love it. It's great if live viewers can get involved, and it just makes it more fun and engaging. So please don't be shy. So what is this all about? Headliner is a tool by a company called SpareMin, which is quite an interesting name. I don't quite know why they're called that. They're based out of New York in the US. And it's primarily a tool for, let me just get it up on the screen, and so we can talk about it a bit more. It is a tool primarily for podcasters, really, I think, is probably the best way of talking about it. It started off as a way to promote your podcast with audiograms, and I'm going to talk about audiograms in a little bit. They basically are a way of visualizing audio. So if your primary content is audio based, that's great. But if you're wanting to publicize that on the likes of YouTube or Instagram, they are very visual platforms. And so podcasters found it very difficult to well, to publicize it, to promote their shows. And so Headliner is one of these tools that allows you to create these really visual representations, if that's the right word, for your podcasts. But it does more than that. It allows you to do create little video snippets as well. It transcribes your videos. It's pretty cool. And Headliner's great. I love it. I've been using it for a while. In terms of the pricing, so I'm on the, I think I'm on the Pro plan of Headliner. They do have a limited free account, which is pretty limited, but yeah, so you get up to 5 videos per month, but the downside is they are watermarked. So they will give you the videos, but they'll watermark it with their logo on there. So I would say the forever free plan is great if you just want to play around and test the tool. But if you are wanting to use it for your shows, then you will definitely need to pay, because you will not want to have that watermark on there. But it's pretty generous. You get 5 videos per month. You get 10 minutes of transcription per month, and you can share directly to the other networks. And it also gives you 1080p video, so it's good quality. The basic plan costs $8 per month if you pay yearly, or basically $10 per month if you pay monthly. So you get 10 videos per month, which probably for a lot of people is absolutely fine. You get unlimited transcriptions. You don't get this watermark on it, so you can actually put your own custom watermark on there. You get this priority export queue, so that just means that your videos will be processed more quickly, which is great. Now the Pro plan, which is what I've got, you have unlimited videos, so there's no kind of barrier to how many videos you do. Again, you get the unlimited transcriptions and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's probably the only difference really with the Pro, is you get unlimited videos, which is great. And you can, of course, you can use your own fonts. You can have your own branding on Headliner. It's really cool. So I'm going to be showing you how to use Headliner. I will be demonstrating that on video, but also I'll be describing it for podcast listeners as well. So if you're listening to the podcast, don't worry, I'll explain everything on there as well. So Headliner is great from that point of view. You can create these audio snippets, video snippets. It transcribes the videos. But I have to ask the question, why would you want to do this? What's kind of the point of this? And I have my 5 Ps live video process, which I feel is so important. So your first thing that you want to do when you're producing your live shows is you need to plan things out. Then you need to pre-promote, then you produce it, then you post-promote, and then you repurpose your live videos. That's going to allow you to create the most out of your live shows. So important to do all those things. And Headliner helps with 3 of those 5 Ps. So it helps with the pre and the post promotion. So you can promote your live show ahead of time. You can create little video and audio snippets. You can also create it for your post. It's probably easier actually to do it with the post processing, because you've now got some content. And I think the most powerful part of this is with repurposing as well. So you can repurpose your show into little audio and video snippets as well. Why is this so important? New people aren't going to always watch or listen to a whole episode. I hate to say that, but it's true. If they see you're going live, they might not be in the right situation to do that. They may see the replay, but they look at it and it's like 45 minutes. They just don't have the time to do that. They don't want to invest that time in that. But if you create video snippets that are like 2 or 3 minutes long, either from your podcast or from your live show, that is going to be more attractive to them, particularly if it has subtitles or captions on your live shows, because not everyone is going to get the chance to watch with the sound on. They're not in the position to do that. So Headliner is one of those tools that can help with all of those things. It's really, really cool. I love it. So I can see we've got I don't know who this is watching. I don't know whether this is Katie watching, but it's a Facebook user watching on a group. Saying, apologies for being a bit late. Love Julie Andrews and Headliner. Yeah, Julie Andrews is on the front of the Headliner website. I don't quite know why that is, but it's cool. I think she has a podcast and they use Headliner, which is awesome. And also this person says, I'm really looking forward to this as I struggle to use it as well. So is that Headliner or is that something else? I'd love to know. Let me know who you are. I can't see what your name is. I'm wondering whether it's Katie or it could be somebody else, I'm guessing. But anyway, so it's coming back to the advantages of or why you would want to use Headliner. You know, first of all, like new people aren't going to necessarily want to invest all of their time into watching a whole episode. So creating little video snippets and audio snippets is really, really useful. I love Descript for many of these things, but Headliner can also be used particularly for podcasting. I can see Martin Buckland is in the house, watching from Toronto. It's always awesome to see you, Martin. Hope you're doing really well. How are things in Toronto this morning? And Katie is saying, it is Katie, yes, that's great. You struggle to use Headliner as well. Okay, so let me know what your struggles are, Katie. I'd love to know, and then let me see if I can help you. Martin, do you use Headliner? Do you use other tools for your repurposing? I'd love to know. So it's a great way, Headliner is a great way to visualize your podcast. So if you don't have any video content, or even if you do have video content, you might want to publicize the fact that you have a podcast. So actually visualizing the podcast is using Headliner is great. It's also one of my favorite tools to use to add captions to my videos. Now, captions are so important. They're important for people who have some kind of visual impairment when you upload the SRT file to the likes of Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that. I'm not talking about that so much, but that is important. I always recommend that you do create SRT files and you upload those for people who are visually impaired, because they will then be able to listen to those captions or read them using their software. But what you can do with tools like Headliner is you can embed them, you can burn them into the video, and if you're not watching, if your viewers aren't watching, sorry, they're not listening, they don't have the sound up, then they can see the captions in front of them. It just makes it so much easier. And even if they're listening with the sound on, I just think it's just easier to watch if you have the captions there. So it's a great way of doing that. It has this transcription feature in it. It's a quick and easy way to create those video snippets. And I think it works really well if you have a team. You might not have a team yet, but it's a tool that will grow with you, and you can give access to your team, and then they can create some of those video snippets for you, so you don't have to spend all of that time. It's great in that it allows you to create videos in those different aspect ratios. For Instagram, for example, like square video. Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn tends to like landscape videos. And of course, Instagram stories, Instagram reels, TikTok, Facebook stories, Twitter fleets, YouTube shorts, should I go on? They all love portrait videos. So the great thing about Headliner is that you can create videos in all those different formats, and I'm going to show you all about that. So let's talk about that. Martin says, no, not yet, but evaluating various solutions. Well, I hope this helps you today to see whether Headliner is a good tool. There are lots of tools out there, but today I'm talking about Headliner. It's a tool that I use a lot. And I think this is Katie saying, do you crop your live video before you put it into Headliner? You don't have to do that. No, you can actually just upload it directly into Headliner, and then you can resize it within that. But let's look a little bit more at how we can use it. So I've got the pricing up there. Let's just quickly go to here. So at the moment, what I've got here is a wizard. This is the opening screen that you get when you log into Headliner, and you've got a number of different options. You can use the audiogram wizard, which is if you're wanting to create the visualization of your podcast. So if you're starting with audio, you will probably want to start with the audiogram wizard. A full episode is like audiogram. So it's going to create an audiogram. It's going to create this visualization. But instead of uploading a little snippet, it's going to upload the entire podcast episode in here. So this is really useful if you're wanting to upload your podcast episode onto YouTube, for example. Now, if you're a live video person, like I think you probably are, then you might want to you might not use those quite so much. Probably what you want to use are video transcripts. So what you do here is you either upload your video, your full video on here, and it will transcribe it for you. There are loads of other things you could do. You could also go straight to the editor, and quite often I like to go straight to the editor. But let's have a look at the audiogram wizard. So I'm going to click on audiogram wizard. And if you connect your podcast to Headliner, it will actually put in your most recent episodes, which is really cool. So you can actually search other podcasts here, but I've got mine here. And then I can just select one of these, and then it will upload that to use as my audiogram. Now, I'm not going to do this because my episodes are quite long and it's going to take a long time. But basically what I would do is I would just click on one of these and it would take the audio from that, and I could then create an audiogram, which is pretty cool. So that's what you do with the audiogram wizard. You've got you can upload so you can connect it with your podcast, or you can upload one that you have prepared earlier. And so for this show, I decided to create quite a short little audio snippet outside, just so that it was going to be a lot quicker to choose this. So I'm going to choose my little audio snippet, which is this one here. So this is from episode 116, and it's just uploading the audio, and straight away I can see on the screen it's loaded in the audio wave file. I can see that going on. I can trim it as well. I could select the start and the end time. I can also trim it within the audio waveform as well. If I wanted, I could just make it shorter like this. But I'm not going to do that. I want to select the whole thing, please. Now, it's giving me the option here. It's asking me a question. Do I want to add captions to my video? Absolutely, because this is an audiogram. I want it to have the captions as well as the audio. So I'm going to select on, and then you've got the option to choose the transcription language. So the default is English United States. I have tried it with that, and it managed to work out, even though I have a strange British accent. But there is the option, I think. Where is it gone? Maybe there isn't an option for this. Oh, yes, so there is. English United Kingdom. So I'm going to choose that and then click on next. Now I've got the choice of the aspect ratio. What type of video do I want? Do I want landscape, square, or portrait? Well, for this, I'm going to choose a square video. And there we go. It's actually dragged it's choosing my podcast artwork there, which I'm probably going to change. So let's have a look at this. There's loads of different visual representations of the audio. This one is looking pretty good. I can change the color as well. Let's make it white. I think looks good. So I've got like a little, I don't really know how to describe all of these things. I've got a little ring as well. I can resize that. So that will go, this kind of waves coming out in a circle. There's a little wave like that. Lots of different ways. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to that one. I'm going to resize it. So this is just a traditional wave. I'm going to put it in the middle there. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to click escape. And what I'm now going to do is, so I've got lots of other options here. I can change the image, for example. So I want to replace that. I can upload it, which is what I'm going to do. But also, if you use Canva, you can link this up with Canva and create your own that way. Let's just upload my own. So this is one I created earlier. Okay, so that's looking great, except for the fact that my background on the image is white and my wave is white. So it's no longer looking very good. So I'm going to make that more black, I think. So that looks okay. What else can I do? So I can also add a progress bar as well. So let me just change that progress bar to more of a yellow one. So what this will do is, as I go through, as you watch this audiogram, the progress bar will go from left to right as well. I can add some text and other stuff, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this video, and it's asking me, do I want to open this in an advanced editor or do I want to export this now? I want to open it in my advanced editor because I want to show you a few extra things. So this will take maybe a minute or so. What this is going to do is it's uploading my audio, it's generating the waveform, it's uploading the image as well, and it's just setting up the project there. So while it's doing that, let's see if we've got any more questions. I don't think there are any more questions. Katie was asking about, do you crop your live videos before you put it in? I don't. But the good news is it's ready to go. Apart from the transcript is not ready yet. But what I can now do is I can then go through this and play it. So let me know if you can hear this. If you're watching live, let me know if you can hear this. Hopefully you can. Work out what your gifts and your talents are and focus. Okay, so that's good. And in fact, the transcription is already ready. So this is automated. One thing you can do is you can actually upload your captions from elsewhere. So if you're using a service like Rev, you can upload those. All you need to do is make sure it's an SRT file, and then you can upload it there. But looking at the transcription, it's pretty good. So it says work out what your gifts are and your talents are and focus on that. It looks like it's all pretty good, and that's good. Katie is saying you can hear that, which is great. Okay, so we've got that's the waveform track, which is great. What we can do is you might want to then change the look and feel of that. So what I can do is I can double click on the waveform track, or just click on it, single click, sorry, and then I can change the style. So for example, I can make it like round bars. I can change the color. What do I want? Do I want a yellow color? No, I actually think the gray looks pretty good. I'm happy with the gray. So I can change that. I can also change the position as well. So I'm just going to move it around. So the waveform is basically what it does is it visualizes your audio track. So I think that looks a bit better. Let's work out what your gifts and your talents. That's good. Now, what I want to do, and I've got the captions there at the bottom. I want to change the look and feel of those captions because out of the box headliner, it does a good job, but I want to make it look a little better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, I'm on transcript at the top. I'm going to click on the text styles and animation button. And what I like to do is I like to go to the bold description one. In fact, what I will do is I'm going to just click on lock caption times first, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that the words are on the same lines as they were before. As I move things around, I don't want anything to change, but I'm going to change to bold description, and then I'm going to go to custom, and I'm happy, I think, with the color. It's white, but I want to change the background to be black. So let's do that. Let's just go to kind of a gray color. And then just underneath the color, we've got what's called the alpha layer. This is the transparency. So I'm going to drag that so that we've got more of that background color showing. That is looking pretty good. Okay, cool. Now, it's only showing one line at the moment. So what I want to do is I want to just click at the bottom of the dark background of the caption. And I want to click and drag so I can now see 2 lines there. So that's right at the bottom. Let's move it up a bit because I've got to leave room for the process bar as well. Okay, we're almost there. One thing I can do is also add a bit of padding to the left and the right. So I'm going to add a bit of padding to the left. Oops, that's a bit too much. Maybe 1. Yeah, 1 is looking good, and then 1 on the right. And then the final thing I want to do is add some animation. So what this is a bit like if you've ever done karaoke. This is actually going to color the words that when you're speaking, if that makes sense. So let's click on I'm going to change the color of this to a yellow. Let's put there, probably that looks good. And let's save that. So what this is now going to do is going to change the captions to a dark background. and it's going to, when I say the words, they're going to become yellow. So if you're listening to the podcast, you won't be able to see this, but just imagine you're seeing the audio, the visualization wave, and we've also got the text there at the bottom. And focus on that. Be intelligent at how you can apply your time and resources every single day. Okay, that's great. And I've noticed it's done a mistake. It's made a mistake. It's put the intelligent instead of be intelligent. So I'm going to just change that in the text. So the great thing is you can edit the transcription there as well. So that's awesome so far. Let's have a look. We've got some comments. Katie's saying, do the captions always need to appear at the bottom? That's a good question. No, they don't. They don't. I'll show you how to move them in a bit. And also, can you save those settings you have chosen? That's a really good question, Katie. I actually don't know the answer to that. Let me just see if I can work that out. We've got Tim Sorn is in the house. Great to see you, Tim. Hope you're doing really well. I'd love to know from you, have you used Headliner? It's a great tool. I love it. So let's go back to what Katie was saying. Can you move the captions? So if I click on the style button again, what I can then do is I can drag that. I could drag it right up to the top if I wanted. So let's put it right at the top there. And let's play it again. If you work really smartly, so we've got it there. I could do something very strange. I could make it like there. In fact, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just move it a little bit there, just underneath my text. I'm going to drag the bottom down so I've got 3 lines. I'm going to custom. I'm going to change the background to fully transparent. Oops. And then I'm going to change the font color to my brand colors, which is CC0033. Okay, so let's see what this looks like now. So this is basically, it's now no longer on a transparent background. I've just realized actually that I've still got the animations on. That's going to look weird. I'm going to switch off animations. Okay, save that. And also the other thing that I'll need to change is the waveform, because it's kind of going over my captions, so that's not good. So you'll want to have a little play around with these things. Let's choose burst, I think. And then let's just move it there. I'm going to move it over my head. It's going to look very, very strange, but why not? Okay, let's save that. And then see what it looks like. Oh dear, there's too much text. So you have to do a little playing around with this. Custom, let's change that to 20. And then let's... yeah, okay. This is not going to look amazing, but let's have a little play. You might be able to work fewer hours in the day. If you give your energy to something that you enjoy, that's cool. But there's... Yeah, I'm not convinced by that. But anyway, it just shows you what you can do. You can play around with these things. And yeah, you can save this as a template. So that's not something I've messed around with. So that might be something, Katie, that you want to do. So let me just save that and see what happens. I have no idea what happens when you do that. So I can access that on my templates page, it's saying. So let's have a look at this. Templates. Okay, here we go. All templates. So maybe I can start off with that. So if I click on that... Yes, you can. So yes, so what you do there is you've saved it as a template, and then you'd quickly add some new audio to that. So this is, yeah. So basically, in answer to your question, Katie, you absolutely can do that. You can save your settings by using a template. And I learned something new. That's great. Let's have a look. Tim is saying, I have used Headliner, but Wave Video has added captions, so I've been using that lately. I think I do still have a subscription with them. Now, that is great information, Tim. I didn't realize that about Wave. I love Wave. I use Wave Video for quite a lot of my projects, so I will check that out. Yeah, I mean, it's just working out which tool is going to be good for you. I really like Descript as well, but I find that every tool that we use has its pros and cons. So you kind of got to work out the tool that's going to work for your system, your setup, and that might change. So at the moment, I'm finding Headliner works really, really well for me, but I'm thinking that my system's probably going to be changing very soon. So I might want to look at some other tools as well. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, Tim. That's really helpful stuff. Okay, so that is us using the audiogram. Let's look at video transcription now. So this is where you might want to upload your entire video or a little snippet in advance. Now, probably what I'd recommend if you have the software is to just trim your video down first before you upload it if you're wanting to create a little video snippet, just because it's going to make it quicker and easier. But what you can do is if you upload your entire video to Headliner, you can then trim it within Headliner. It's just that obviously you're going to have to upload a big hefty video first, and that's going to take some time. So the first thing you choose is what aspect ratio do you want? Do you want it portrait? Do you want it square? I'm going to choose square again, and then you upload your video in here and choose whether you want it transcribed or not. Now, this was going to take a long time, so I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to show you one that I have created earlier, and I think it's this one here. So what I've done is I've uploaded just the same snippet as I had before for the audiogram, but now I've got the video. So this was a landscape video, and I've uploaded it into Headliner, and it's making it into a square format. So if I just play this now, work out what your gifts and your talents are. So obviously it's just cropped in there. It's cropped the left and the right out there. But that's pretty cool. Now what you can do here, so if I click on the video bit, what I can then do is, let's just play this a little bit. Okay, so I can actually see something on the screen. So what it's done is actually zoomed into the video. So we've not got any of those black borders to the left and the right. So what we can do here is I can choose the resize option. So what it's done is it's resized the whole video, or I could choose black bars. So what that does is it just keeps the same aspect ratio. So if you imagine it's a landscape video within a square, so it's got black borders to the top and the bottom. But then what I can do is I can then zoom in. So I can choose what level of zoom I want. That's a bit scary. That is far too much zoom. So that is good. And what you could do is we could, for example, we could put it so that it's actually quite small on the screen, like I've got at the moment. And I'm going to update the video. Okay, let's just do that. And let's have a look, see what that looks like. Be intelligent at how you can. So that's pretty good. I've now got the captions underneath. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a background media as well. So let's see what I can do. Let's add. How do I do that? There is a way of adding some. Add a track. There we go. That'll do. I want to add some media, and I want to upload an image. So I'm going to upload. Okay, this is going to look a bit weird, but anyway, let's try this. So let's just add that. Okay, and then is this going to work? Maybe not. And focus on that. Okay, so that's not so good. What I need to do is I need to drag that underneath. There we go. So what I've done is I've added an image, and then I've dragged that image underneath the video. So the image that I've got is not great. I would need to create a new image here, but I'm just showing you the kind of thing that you can do here. So let's have a little play of it. And your talents are, and focus on that. So that looks pretty good. Obviously, what I'd need to do here is create an image where I've got the text above and not anything kind of underneath the video, because otherwise it's going to look a bit weird. So that's pretty good. And I can then change the captions as well. So let's change those. I'm going to put a little background, make it more black. That looks better. I'm just going to drag down the bottom a little bit. Oops. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to add a bit of padding to the left and the right. Again, that looks good. I'm going to add some animations as well. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Let's save that. Is that going to be... Yeah, okay. And then I might also want to add a progress animation as well. Okay, let's change it to a bar and put that at the bottom. So now what I've got my video, I've got my image behind, I've got my little progress bar, and I've got the captions as well. Be intelligent at how you can apply your time and resources. So that looks pretty good. Now obviously what I need to do is just move the captions up a little bit. So I'm just going to go to there, move the captions up a tiny little bit there. And I want to just make the image keep going until the end of the video as well. So let's have a quick look at that and see what that looks like. Be able to work fewer hours in the day. If you give your energy to something that you enjoy, so there you go. That is how you create it. The transcript looks pretty good, and then at this point I will then want to export it. So at this point you've then got the option to export it at different frames per second. I tend to do everything the highest, so 30 frames per second, so it looks a bit smoother. I want the quality to be high, and I want the video size to be full 1080 times 1080. You can add video clips at the beginning and the end if you want. And at this point, what I'm just going to do is export my video for later. I'm not actually going to do that now because it's going to take a long time. So I hope that makes sense. Loads of really cool things. There's loads and loads of stuff that you can use. Katie says, yeah, that's good. The template would save loads of time. And Tim is saying, good morning from Team Coffee. I can't do my New York accent. But anyway, thank you for that. If you want to know what I've got my Rooibos, got a nice Rooibos tea in here, Red Bush tea. I love Red Bush tea. That's what I'm drinking. Katie's asking, I wonder if you can change the captions background to a bright color and make the captions larger. You can definitely do that. You can do whatever you like, basically. So let's have a look. Let's go back and see if we can do something like that. So what was it? We want to make it captions background to a but yeah, let's see. So let's make the captions let's make that a background, make it a white. Okay, so you can have a lot of fun with this. Let's make it a bit more whitey, and then let's change the color to my red. Okay, let's do that. And then we want to make them bigger, so let's make it more like 30 pixels. We can do that. Let's see what that looks like. So I've made the okay, and then what I need to then do is change. Let's make it black to red. So we've got the animations on there. It was just looking a little bit strange. Okay, what's this going to look like? It's cool. But there's an extra thing here. You've got to think about your goals as well. And yeah, so that you can play around with different things. I think that looks pretty good. Cool. Okay. So let's see. So we've got Harpal is here. Great to see you. How are things with you? Haven't spoken to you in a while. Hope you're doing really well. We're talking about Headliner today. So I love the different waveforms that you can create, the different captions, the different animations. I've demonstrated how you can create an audiogram, how you can create a video snippet. There is one other cool thing that you can use with Headliner, and it's automation. So I'll show you a little bit more about that. Katie's saying there are some other popular apps that make captions bold and bright, and they stand out really well. Cool, yeah. So I'd love to know a bit more about those. Which ones do you have you played around with that look really good? So let's look at automation now. Now, I have to admit, the automation side of things is not something I really use very often. Let's have a look. Where is it? Okay, so let's go back to animations, automations. There we go. Okay, so what this is, you can connect a podcast with this. So let's, for example, I could create a new one here. Let's have a look what we can do. So what you can do is you can search by podcast, search for podcast by name, or you can put it in your RSS feed. So what this will do is it will automatically pull in the audio from each episode to automatically create a video for you. So if I go back to automations, let's see what it's created. So this is one for an episode I did a few weeks ago, top mindset qualities for confident live streamers. And it has come up with 7 video snippets, and it's made them into 15-second ones for stories, for like Instagram stories. Now, I think I need to play around with this because I've found that these aren't so great because it's trying to find a 15-second snippet. And in my experience, it's not done a very good job at that. I think it might do a better job if it was like a minute of material. And also, I need to. It's brought in the image, the square image, and put it on a portrait size. So it doesn't look great, but let's have a look. And I think with playing around with this, it's going to be a bit better. So yeah, okay. So the image straight away on the screen is completely cropped. It looks really bad, and that is absolutely vital. So let's have a look at the image, the actual, yes, the waveform. I need to change the color of that as well. Yeah, because that doesn't look great. So it's kind of like a white color. So I'll need to play around with that. But anyway, let's listen to the audio snippet that's come up with just 15 seconds worth from the show I did the other day. That is absolutely vital that you do that. So I'd love to know from you what you think about all of those things. I'm just going to get up my Daily Truths and Affirmations document here. And okay, that's pretty dreadful. Yeah, I think they need to work at this. So the automation thing, I love the idea of it, but I think you're going to end up with lots of audio snippets that you're not really going to use. So I personally would use a tool like Descript, and then you can then select the snippets that you want to select. So that's what I would do. But yeah, it's worth playing around with. So let's just end the show with just going through some of the pros, and then I'm going to end with some of the cons of Headliner. The pros are if you're wanting to create audio snippets, audiograms, video snippets, if you're wanting to transcribe your shows, if you're wanting to have a tool that works within the browser and works really well with Teams, then I think Headliner is a great tool, and I still use it today. I think I love the way it makes captions really pop out for you, and so I would definitely use Headliner for those things. But there are some problems, and I think one of my biggest problems with Headliner is the downgrade in video quality when you export. And I emailed support yesterday, and I complained really. I said, like, when I export, I think you must add a lot of compression, because I'm finding that the quality is a lot more pixelated when I download it. So I upload it in a pretty good quality, and then when I download it from Headliner, I've added all the captions and everything like that, but the quality just isn't great. And I said, is there a way to make it better quality, to reduce the amount of compression? To which the answer was no, unfortunately. So I think this is a big downside for me, because I think video quality is really important. I've not noticed any downgrade in the audio quality so much, but certainly the video quality is not so great when you export it. So that's the potential downside that you, and maybe it depends on the kind of the quality or the kind of video that you've got. One of the things that the person said in support at Headliner was that, just make sure you don't choose so bright colors or change the colors. Well, that might make the quality better, but the problem is that those are my colors, that's my brand, and I want things to pop. I want a really nice look and feel to my video. So I don't really think that's a very good response, personally. The other thing is that you only have those 3 aspect ratios. So you can only export in portrait, landscape, or square. Now, for most people, that's not really a deal killer. That's going to be fine. But I am working on producing a video in a slightly shorter portrait video. I'm working with Amanda Webb on my some ads that I'm going to be running, and they need to be in a slightly different format. And so unfortunately, Headliner is not going to really help here. So yeah, that's just unfortunate. That's just the way it is. But apart from that, I'm really impressed with Headliner. There are other tools out there. There's Capwing, which is a really cool tool that I want to play around with. Capwing is great in that it does a lot more. It allows you to edit the videos in just like a kind of a video editing tool. So it's not as easy to use, possibly, as Headliner, but it works really well. Tim mentioned Wave Video. I'm a big fan of Wave Video. That works really well. There's also InVideo, which is another tool, and you can get 50% off InVideo, by the way, if you go to iag.me/InVideo, iag.me/InVideo. So definitely check that out. So let's have a look, see what Katie is saying here. I started with Headliner with them emailing me an automation for my podcast without me having to do anything at all. For that, I thought it was fab. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, so I think it's a great idea, and I love what they're doing. I just personally found that what they gave me wasn't that great. But hopefully they're improving it over time. So I'm looking forward to that. Awesome. Well, that is the end of today's show. There's so much more I could talk about, but I think I'll leave it there to let you know that next episode, so if you're listening to the podcast, this is next Friday. If you're watching live, it's this Thursday. I'm very excited to be joined by the amazing Bradley Vinson. We're going to be talking about top 5 ways you can brand your live shows with graphics. Now, Bradley is just an amazing teacher. He's also just an incredibly talented guy, and he's going to be sharing top 5 ways that you can brand your live shows, and that could be things like, it could be like lower thirds. So this is at the bottom of your screen that's telling people who you are and who your guest is. It could be things like frames on your screen. It could be little animations and all that kind of stuff. And so Bradley's going to be showing 5 different ways. And I can't wait for that, because this is something that I've been leveling things up in terms of my show over the last year or so. And I've still got loads of cool things that I want to be doing. And Bradley's going to be helping me with those things. So I hope you looking forward to that as much as I am. Katie is definitely looking forward to that, saying cool. He is indeed a lovely fellow. He's an awesome guy. He is going to be on the show on Thursday or next Friday if you're listening to the podcast. Well, that is the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching live, for watching the replay, or for plugging me into your ears on listening to it on the podcast. Do check out the podcast at iag.me/podcast. I would love it if you would give me a review on there, because the more people that do that, the more people will find out about it. And of course, do go to confident.live/subscribe so that you can be notified next time we go live. But that is the end of it for today. Thank you so much. And I want to leave you with this to encourage you to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of Confident Live Video. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.